Do not watch this video if you're easily disturbed. A dad woke his children in the middle of the night, crammed them into a van, and then did the most hideous thing you could ever imagine. The reason he gave for what he did is absolutely mind-blowing. It was the 7th of August, 2021 in Santa Barbara. Matthew Taylor Coleman was a Californian surfing teacher. He and his wife, Abby, had two adorable children together. These were 2-year-old Kaleo and 10-month-old Roxy. On the day in question, Abby phoned the police. She was very concerned that her husband had suddenly left without warning and taking the children. Now, she didn't think that any harm would come to them, but she was really concerned that she couldn't get hold of them. Little did she know her husband was checking into a hotel. He entered the City Express Hotel in Mexico with their 2 children. Abby eventually managed to track her husband down on Find My iPhone after getting advice from the police. She was obviously stunned to discover that he was a 5-hour drive away. It was on August the 9th that police ended up going to Abby's house to speak with her. However, she wasn't there, but her friends were. They told officers that Matthew and Abby had been communicating via text. In the early hours of the morning, Abby had received a text message from Christopher. He told her that he was having crazy thoughts, and that hopefully, the craziness would end soon. Abby had set off in the car to try and drive to where he was. Matthew texted her that he loved her, and then crammed his children into a van. He drove to a remote ranch, took them out of the van, and took out a spear fishing gun. He murdered his children by stabbing them over 12 times each. He then simply returned to the hotel and checked out. The children's lifeless bodies were discovered in a ditch at 7:30 a.m. by a local farmer. Around 1:00 p.m. that day, Matthew was apprehended at the border by the FBI after trying to return back to the U.S. He confessed to murdering his children and stated that he'd done so because he believed that his wife had passed on to them her serpent DNA. He said he was saving the world and didn't want them to grow up to be monsters. He's charged with 2 counts of murder, but is actually pleading not guilty. Let me know what your thoughts are on this case. Was he experiencing psychosis? And what do you reckon the sentence should be?